Hello, everybody. This is Kevin with Inspiring How You See That. So today we have Pat with Interleaved. Pat, you write a lot of the music for Interleaved, and you're also the guitarist. And we were talking just in the beginning, of course, about the background. So this is There's Blood in the Water. This is the background for There's Blood in the Water. And many of you, if you haven't heard of these guys, it's very the music's just very melodic and it's very catchy. And you'll listen to it and you're like, oh, this sounds really cool. And then you'll just, I want to hear it again. So that's what's really cool. And I'll let you talk about it a little bit, maybe some of this song in general. We can move on to the next ones because I know you guys have been working on a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, thanks for saying that. I really appreciate the compliments of the music. So we're basically a two-man band, Andrew and I. Andrew does the vocals and I do all the music, and also very heavily involved in the production of everything and putting everything together in the environment to bring everything to create a song, and so play most of the instruments as well. And Andrew and I actually have been writing music together for a while now, and we've been in different bands together. And for a while in the more recent past, just kind of he and I just been writing stuff together, and as per usual, when we get together and just do it for fun. And then when we came upon some of these ideas and started going back and forth, and I would send him stuff and he'd send me stuff back, and we were really getting into it, and we were like, hey, I think we might have hit on something here that we were just not necessarily looking for. And I think that's when the best ideas come, right? And so we talked a little bit about it. And we were kind of like, why don't we kind of make something out of this and put it out there and see what happens and actually release it instead of just, because the creation process with he and I has always been just to be able to cathartically create together and just make sure we're always creating together and making music, and never really any intent necessarily to put it out there. But in this case, we were like, yeah, we really like what came of it, and we put a plan together and decided to release it.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I was wondering if that was kind of the works, and that always seems to happen with a lot of bands. They'll have these little side projects and like, hey, this is actually really good. Let's put it together. And we thought it was good for us. I mean, we were happy with the way things were coming out. We were like, well, I have no idea if anybody else will be into it. But then when we decided so the lyrics and the vocals all kind of had a theme, and when we kind of picked out of all of the songs that we wrote and recorded and got mixed, and we picked the 5 that we wanted to do on this EP, it definitely became a very thematic kind of story from front to back, and the order of the 5 songs is very intentional in that it tells a story. And then very soon after realizing what these 5 songs are going to be, I had this vision about painting a picture basically for this. So I said I want to do 5 videos. I want to do 1 video for every one of these songs. And when you watch the videos in order of the track, it does kind of tell a story about the theme around this. And so kind of when all that came together, we were like, well, we went from just like, oh, we just writing as usual, to it went to that. And then on the set of the first video, we had our dear friend Morgan Rose on deck to play drums for us, and he basically, because when you're on a video, you hear the song over and over and over and over again. Basically, get really sick of hearing the song. But the opposite happened with him, which was awesome. He was like, hey, at the end of the day, he was like, hey, I really enjoyed doing this, and I really love what I hear, and I'm gonna have a talk with the label, and I think we would like to sign you guys. And we were like, what? That's not what we were expecting, but it was really, really awesome, and it worked out great. So it just went from just writing songs as usual all the way up to that, and it felt great. And it's like, yeah, I think this is what we were supposed to do. So yeah, and I really like that, and that's something I want the fans to see, is that there is a storyline, because I did see that. And then I like how you guys put out some of the videos just kind of talking about the production of the the song itself, and it gives the viewers an idea. And so a lot of the songs have to deal with like relationships, right? And kind of
things that have happened. We don't want to give away too much because we want we want a lot of the new listeners to kind of put it together.
You can go watch all 5 of them in a row now, and you can like you said, you can kind of figure out on your own like what's going on and what happens at the end. And the cover art, which that you have behind you, is very much tied into that story as well. But as far as the continuation of the story, I will say, so we are working on album number 2 right now. Basically, all the songs are written, most of them are recorded. Nothing's been mixed yet, but we're still working on that. And really it's going to be a challenge to actually pare down to which songs we're going to pick, because we did a lot of them and we like a lot of them. But in that, it will likely be somewhat of a continuation of the theme. And I won't say whether or not it goes in one direction or another, but in a sense, it will kind of pick up where it left off. So just put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll give something for the fans to look forward to in the new ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I definitely hope so. We're gonna the direction we're headed and with this new group of songs, we're definitely gonna kind of stay in the moody, kind of ethereal type of vibe, I guess, that we have on some of these songs. And then the most recent one, the last one on the EP, Hold On Me, that we just put out the single and the video for, that's definitely on the heavier side. It's probably the heaviest one of the 5. We have a few more like that on this one too. So it's going to be a good mix. Whereas this one is more like, 4 of them are kind of moody and ethereal and, whatever words, whatever fun adjectives you want to use. And then just the last one is a lot heavier. It's going to kind of be more like half and half on the upcoming one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I really like, and and we'll have a little bit into the backgrounds as we talk about it. But there, the songs seem to vary a lot. You'll get some of it where you're just kind of really slow, and then you'll get another one where you're just ripping it on the guitar. So it's really cool because I like that when musicians can do that. It doesn't seem to be stuck into one same natural tune. Mm-hmm. It's all different.
Yeah.
And Andrew's voice is, I know he's not with us as far as within the, today, but I want to give a shout out to him. His vocals, I really like his vocals, and that's what makes it catchy too. And with what you mentioned about Morgan, I love drums and I love watching drums. I'm like, hey, that's Morgan. I was like, that's really cool. And then for you to put it all together and kind of tell me, I was like, that is really awesome that Morgan kind of come in and said, yeah, you guys got something here, and it's cool.
Yeah, it was super exciting. I appreciate that again. You saying all that, very kind of you. And the reason why. So to speak to Andrew first, I mean, the reason why he and I have been such kind of musical cohorts for as long as we have is because when it comes to not just the singing part of it, but so I've worked with a lot of musicians, and sometimes musically I'm known to come up with stuff that's kind of like, what the hell do you want me to do? Like the vocalist is like, what the hell do you want me to do with that? Like that's all over the place, right? And I fully admit it, and it's just a lot of that is just about just needing to create in that way for me to just kind of go outside the box or whatever. But Andrew there's never ever been anything that I've ever thrown at him that he hasn't been able to put something to that is at least somewhat catchy. I mean, on occasion we'll both be like, okay, maybe just as a song, this isn't as one of the best ones, and we'll kind of put that aside or put it on the back burner. But I mean, Hold On Me is a perfect example. The riff in the chorus of that is all over the guitar neck, and I had presented that to somebody else at one point, and there was no vocals on it, and literally they were like, I have no idea what the hell is it to do with that. How am I going to make a catchy chorus out of that? And then Andrew comes in and does the move back and forth with me thing, which is one of the catchiest things to me I've ever heard that he wrote. And it's just one thing, one example after example after example of, it doesn't matter what I throw at him, he'll come up with something for it.
And then to your point about kind of doing different things on the guitar and stuff, this interview I did a couple days ago, they asked me, who's your biggest influence on guitar? My answer is by far Jimmy Page is the reason that I picked up a guitar, Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin. And the reason is because of how versatile he is in genres, that he's a cross genre guy, and he writes music in so many, wrote music in so many genres during Led Zeppelin's heyday. And that always jumped out at me and something that I always knew that I wanted to do as well.
Before we kind of wrap some things up, even myself as a fan, I am wondering, is there any tour or anything in the works that, I know I'm a little further kind of northeast.
Yeah.
You guys are south, but is there anything in the works?
Great question. And that is the question we get the most. So the label and us have been, it's the chat we have on almost every call we have. What makes the most sense as far as a tour, with whom to tour with, and then of course just all of the logistics of getting that together for a band for the very first time of them touring, and you just not knowing market wise and reception wise how it's going to go. It's the same thing with any band who has never toured before. But with that said, we definitely have plans for it, and we definitely want to do it, and we want to do it sooner rather than later. If it were up to us and everything, stars would have aligned perfectly, we would have dropped this record a month and a half ago and immediately hit the road. Mm-hmm. But life, is in the way of that, or got in the way of that, and we're working all that out now. The really cool thing is we do have some options. We've got some options. We know a lot of great people in the industry, and we do have some options, so we just have to work out the logistics. And hopefully before the year 2024 is over, we will be having a conversation that says, hey, that tour that we did was a lot of fun and, got us some new fans. So I'm hoping it happens this year.
Great. And you probably have to go out to New Zealand. Aren't you getting a lot of hits over there?
So our first single, this is really weird. Our first single, it was the first single last year, the label, everything was brand new. And after the first week, we got this notice from Apple that pulling on that thread was the number 2, I think, song in New Zealand. And it was like that for a few days. And like, New Zealand, what the hell? And we didn't know anybody over there. And we were like, that's awesome. So guess we're definitely going there. And then, and that was that. And I'm like, okay, that's super cool. And it's not something that that ever happened again. It's not like as the other songs came out that we charted like that. But once we saw that, my understanding from folks who are in the know over there is they're really big fans over there of Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails. And I'm not comparing us to them. To me, Trent Reznor's, a god, but I have heard some comparisons to some of the music, and some of our songs may have like a Nine Inch Nails vibe. So that's the only thing I can surmise about it hit like that over there for a few days. But very random, very weird, but we loved it. We absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool too as well. It's weird how the music scene kind of works. We've talked to bands from Australia, from Finland, from France, and Sweden. And even sometimes in Sweden, they're like, well, we just can't, nobody likes our music here, but the States, they love it.
Yeah, definitely. And and the same can be said for a lot of music in the States that might not be it might not catch as much fire over here in the States, but overseas, they absolutely love it. So yeah, it's really, and that's why in the age we're in now of the internet and statistics and being able to see where traffic is coming from is really great. It's something that they just didn't really have back in the day, to be able to see where all the traffic is coming from, right? From the different countries, to know who's listening to what and who likes what. It gives you a little bit more of an edge and an understanding of where your audience is, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, before we kind of wrap some things up, is there anything you want to mention to fans or say to fans before we get going?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you. I mean, thank you so much. I didn't expect. So we're a year into this thing now, and I didn't expect to be where we're at. And I mean, again, we haven't toured or anything, but as far as the reception, the feedback, the comments, the compliments, the streams, all of that stuff, the audience, and it's amazing, and it's absolutely heartwarming, and not anything that we ever expected to happen. And we're extremely excited about this next chapter because it's going to be even bigger and better. This is just the beginning. This is just the intro of us. And so thank you so much for that. And also I want to say, like, don't hesitate at all to reach out to us, directly on social media. We love meeting people. We love talking with people. We love collaborating with people. So, and how do I say this? Like, we're nobody. We're nobody. We are not. And because I got a DM from somebody who was like, I can't believe I'm talking. And no. We're nobody. So definitely message us. We're just regular, normal people. So message us, and we love hearing from you. And I love to make new friends and chat and collaborate. And exactly, Kevin, how we got together. So yeah, that's it. And thank you, Kevin, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, and it's an honor for myself, and I'm glad we were finally able to talk. And I want to thank Pat again, and all you fans out there that listen to all of our interviews and everything that we do. Definitely check out. We'll have all the links below from this interview, and we'll also have all their links for their songs, everything below. So we're excited and can't wait for the next chapter. So until next time, we'll see you guys on the next segment.
Thanks, everybody.
Compromise to find the middle ground and leave out the surprise.